Hi everyone, welcome to the next episode of Trends In. Today I'm joined by Amy Morgan from our Leinster office. Amy is an expert in science. Amy, lovely to have you here today. Would you mind sharing your current market overview?
Yeah, of course. First of all, thanks for having me, Marcel. It's nice to be called an expert for once, I suppose. So I currently work with a few different roles on the life science team. I specialize in quality recruitment. So some of those roles would include QC roles that can, envelop a very large area of different areas. That sounds really weird. But like chemistry, microbiology, and bioassay kind of roles as well. At the moment, I think the market's absolutely thriving. COVID has not affected it at all, which is fantastic. Like a very big difference because last year, obviously, bit of a crazy year. There was Brexit, there was COVID, and we didn't know how the market was going to, I don't know, turn out. But it's been very, very lucky for us. Pharmaceuticals are booming, which is great.
Perfect. Like my impression is that the market is very much driven by the candidates. Do you what is actually their preference at the moment? Is it more contract work or more permanent? And how would that resonate with your current open roles?
I think it really depends on the position. So QC analysts obviously prefer more permanent position. They just prefer the security of those roles. But with your likes of validation analysts and validation specialists, they obviously prefer contracting. You're getting more money. They have a bit more freedom, I suppose, with that. And it's just it really depends on the role. QA as well. It's just I think people in QA are getting on in their career a bit more and they're looking for that job security that comes with a perm position. So it really does depend on the role. There's so many that we work with. So but there is more of an increase with contract I've noticed over the last year. I think people are feeling a bit more braver and they're understanding a lot more that contracting isn't as scary as it once was. A lot of people still think that if you're contracting you can't get a mortgage, but that's a myth. You can, and there is that increase now where people are getting a bit more informed about contracting and they're making more informed decisions on it.
Yeah. And you've mentioned that COVID didn't impact too much your industry, but let's say with regards to the QA position, did it change it to more of a remote work? Like would your clients be more open to having people, working from a different parts of the country or different countries?
Yes, it's really, really helped us in that regard. So particularly in QA, as you were mentioning, and more people are able to work from the comfort of their home. And with Dublin at the moment, house prices are a bit insane. So, you're looking at people who couldn't afford to live in Dublin. So Dublin was never an option for them to work for, which was, quite sad. These people can now work fully remote, which is fantastic, whether that be in Cork, Galway, they can work in Poland, they can work anywhere, which is fantastic. And even with interviews, arranging interviews is so much easier as well. You can do so by video. So the whole process of recruitment and securing positions for people has become a lot easier for ourselves and a lot easier for the candidate. There's so much more options for them, which is great.
Yeah, and you mentioned the interview process. So, like, what is a standard process at the moment? Is it still like, a lot of tests and two rounds, and is it in person? Is it remote, or what is like a standard process of one of your clients?
The vast majority of them, it would be 2 round interview, both of them now via video, which is fantastic. Before it would have been maybe a call and an in-person or two in-person interviews. There's not so many tests on our side. One or two clients probably would specialize more in doing psychometric analysis, but it's more a client preference that hasn't really been impacted by COVID or by the last year. So it does really depend. But we've been quite lucky, I think.
Great. So, Amy, tell me that how people could reach you, and like what kind of top roles do you recruit for at the moment?
Yeah, so as mentioned, I specialised in quality recruitment. So I'm working on a variety of different QC roles, mainly in Dublin, but we are well connected with the other Sigmar people. So, if you're working in Cork, still get in touch and we'd be happy enough to help you with that. Galway, anywhere really. Now I also am working on regulatory affairs positions and EHS positions at the moment, which I've actually noticed they've actually really, been on the rise in the last year. And I think that might be as well to do with Brexit. Not that we want to, push too much on that, but higher regulations across Europe with the import export of drugs. So there's a lot of regulatory affairs and EHS positions at the moment. So if anyone is looking to, get in touch with myself about them or quality positions, you can do so on my number, which is 014744692, or my email address, which is amorgan@sigmar.ie. And even if you're finding some difficulty with, securing a role and you mightn't have that experience, I'm more than happy to dedicate some of my time to give you some advice. So
amazing, amazing. And if somebody's watching that from not Ireland, and the country code is +353. So before you start putting Amy's phone number, it's +353. Amy, it was a pleasure having a chat with you, and look, have a lovely Friday.
thanks so much, Marcel. Same to yourself.
Cheers. Thanks. Bye bye.